We are back in 1983, continuing our look at the G.I. Joe toy line by Hasbro. Last time, we took a look at Cobra's main fighting force with the Cobra officer and the Cobra trooper. This time, we're sticking with Cobra, but we're going up the chain of command to the Cobra mercenary, Major Bludd, here on Creed's Collection. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Creed's Collection. Today we're checking out Major Bludd from the 1983 G.I. Joe toy line by Hasbro. Major Sebastian Bludd is a mercenary working for the evil organization Cobra. He was born in Sydney, Australia and was trained by the Australian Special Air Service. Later he joined the French Foreign Legion and saw action in Algeria. After this, he became a military advisor for several hostile European countries, where he began committing acts of terrorism against peaceful governments. Bludd is now wanted on 3 continents for numerous war crimes as well as crimes against humanity. And now that we know a bit more about Major Bludd, let's take a closer look. One great thing about G.I. Joe figures from the Real American Hero line is how interesting and distinctive they all looked. Major Bludd is pretty wild looking with his hat, eye patch, and really amazing mustache combo. The dog tags here around Major Bludd's neck are taken off the people he kills in battle, and I think that's pretty dark for a children's toy line. Another cool detail about Major Bludd is the fact that his right arm is robotic. This makes him incredibly unique. I can't think of another figure with an arm like this. You see, it lacks the articulation that this arm has. See the swivel and the bend here? They're not on this arm. It only has the shoulder articulation, and it's made from a much thicker, heavier plastic. Even though it technically limits the figure's posability, it's a pretty sweet idea. This symbol here on Bludd's arm is for the Australian Special Air Service. It's a sword with wings, and the motto is, "Who dares, wins." And they share that motto with the British SAS. Underneath the dog tags, Major Bludd has some cool black body armor, and here's a closer look at his robotic arm. It's well sculpted, so I forgive the lack of articulation. On Major Bludd's right thigh, he does have a sidearm molded in, which looks pretty cool. Over here on his left forearm, he's got some, looks like armor, and then he's got a cool green stripe on the side of his pants. And then his black boots are pretty standard, but they still look good. On the back side of the figure, you can see the peg where you plug in his backpack, but other than that, pretty plain. Now we're going to check out Major Bludd's articulation. Here at the knee, he has a 90-degree bend, and here at the hip, he has a ball joint, so that allows for quite a bit of freedom of movement. Now here at his waist, he does have a rubber band, so he can kind of move forward, back, twist left to right, which is also pretty nice. Shoulder can move up and out, swivel point here at the forearm, and a 90-degree bend. Now, of course, Major Bludd is different because he does have the cybernetic arm, so on this side, there is only the 1 point of articulation. So because he's lacking the 2 points here, you can only really move him at the shoulder. So as you can see, when you move it out, the whole thing just stays stiff. Now his head here can turn left and right, and that is going to cover all 10 points of articulation for Major Bludd. Now we're going to check out Bludd's accessories, starting with his gun, which is really more of a rocket launcher. As you can see, this is like a little mini rocket, and it fires out of the gun. It's actually well sculpted, but it's tough to see because it's so dark, and it is the same on both sides. It fits very securely in his robot arm, but the handle was a bit too big to fit in the other hand. Bludd's second accessory is his backpack, which holds additional rockets for his rocket launching gun. As you can see, there's 3, and once again, it's pretty dark, so it's hard to see the details. The 3 rockets on the pack are nearly identical to the one in his gun, so I figured I'd show you. When you see them side by side, it's pretty obvious he's packing extra ammo. Here on the back of the backpack, you can see the standard peg, and that's how you stick it onto Bludd's back. It's just as easy as plugging it in. The copyright information for Major Bludd is located on the inside of his left leg, 1983 Hasbro, and on the bottom of the figure, made in Hong Kong. Here's a quick look at Major Bludd's file card. If you'd like to read it, pause now. And now for our He-Man size comparison. Major Bludd is quite a bit smaller than He-Man, as we've established through many G.I. Joe videos. But with a name like Major Bludd, I feel like he'd fit in with the Masters pretty well. And let's go ahead and do a Cobra Officer, Cobra Trooper, Major Bludd size comparison. The reason I want to compare these is because I always thought of Major Bludd as the battlefield leader. He even wears the same hat as them, so I just figured he commanded the troops. You know, sir, for as often as we have lasers fired at us, it's amazing we never get hit. Now that you mention it, we are pretty lucky. Yeah, has anyone ever been shot before? Oi, trooper! What? Yeah, I've been hit. As you can see, right in me bloody arm. Lost it right on the battlefield, and then Cobra gave me this lovely new one. Wow, that sounds like a terrible injury. Was there Major Bludd? Oh, think you're funny, do ya? 50 laughs, both of ya. Next time, keep your mouth shut. Yes, sir. Let's go. Keep it moving. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my toy retrospective for Major Bludd from the 1983 G.I. Joe toy line by Hasbro. Major Bludd was one of the first 7 Cobra figures ever produced, and we've now covered 5 of those 7 figures. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a thumbs up, and if you have any thoughts, please leave a comment. I love reading and responding to them. And while you're at it, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. It would help my channel grow. I do a retrospective on a toy from my vintage collection every Wednesday, so hope to see you next week and every week after, here on KREED'S Collection.